15 years ago, Scottish National Maritime Museum very bravely took on the undertaking to take this ship off the bottom of the Clyde where she'd gone down. And not only to bring her up off the bottom, but to bring it to Irvine, to the centre, to be the centrepiece of the National Maritime Museum. They had very high hopes then at that time. There was plenty of lottery money lashing about. They believed that they could get a large slice of that and do a full restoration and saving of the ship. However, after some years, the money ran out, politically things changed, and they were left with this ship with no money to do a restoration. And on top of that, in fact, this ship is lying on property belonging to Ayrshire Metals. It doesn't belong to Scottish Maritime Museum. Ayrshire Metals and Scottish Maritime stopped having civil communication with each other years ago. They negotiate through their lawyers. I believe there is a certain amount of back rent that hasn't been paid to Ayrshire Metal from Scottish Maritime. National Historic Ships, who are the advisory group who have successfully in the past gotten 25, 30 million for the restoration of the Mary Rose, 15 million for the SS Great Britain, an additional 12 million after the fire on the Cutty Sark 2 years ago. National Historic Ships are the experts in this field. They understand, they recognise that this ship must be saved for the nation, but even they are not able to get to the discussion table with Ayrshire Metals and Scottish Maritime Museum. All of these people, in their own fields, they are experts or they are successful business people. The ship has been held to ransom. It is a pawn. It is something which will be sacrificed because of the inability of these experts across a wide field of business and government departments. They are not talking to each other. I've had countless conversations, talks, intense talks, agreements that have been reached, and then the goalposts have shifted. We haven't been able to accomplish anything in the 10 years that I have been pursuing this ship to bring her back to Sunderland. Since the Cutty Sark went up 2 years, we've intensified our campaign in Sunderland, and we've got great support amongst the ordinary people. After all, Sunderland was the greatest shipbuilding town in the world. We were world-renowned for building ships. And now today, on the weir in Sunderland, on our once very, very busy river weir, there is nothing. The river is empty of any vestige of what we were once. And I think, and I know, people in Sunderland need this ship. It's not just a tourist attraction. It is something which fulfills a great need in the people. We are not asking government. We're not asking local council. We're not asking anyone to step in and be the fairy godmother and put X amount of hundreds of thousands or millions of pounds on the table. All we want is for all of these people who are not able to communicate with each other to at least let us salvage this ship. All we need is a recovery vessel, a flat-bottomed barge, 2 tugs, and then we can get away from here. This morning I had a last meeting with the leader of the council in Irvine, David O'Neill, Councillor David O'Neill, very responsible and a very agreeable leader in this town. He sympathises wholly with our plight. He, in fact, rather than obstruct us, he has told me, once he sees that Sunderland barge coming round that bend in the River Irvine, he will be the first man down here putting his shoulder into the stern of that ship, and he will be pushing it in the direction of Sunderland. We do have some great support up here in spite of the lack of vision amongst many other so-called responsible authorities. Let people from Sunderland come up here with the equipment, with the manpower. We were a town of shipwrights and carpenters. We can put this hull in a condition sufficiently seaworthy and stiffened and strengthened to be able to make that last trip to bring our clipper ship home to Sunderland.